welcome to my channel, All of Jasmine. Today is late. Right now it is, what time is it? Well, it's not that late. I just feel like it's late because I worked all day. It is 9:36 p.m. and I just finished writing the script for a wedding, and I started to think about my first wedding and what it was like. And I figured I would have a little story time and share with you what it was like for me as a first time officiant and what I felt like and the hiccups I may have had and what has changed from then to now, to help anyone else that's thinking about becoming a wedding officiant so that you can face your fears and see that other officiants were scared too. But it's a very lucrative business. It's a very comforting business. You feel, well, I feel very whole when I get done officiating a ceremony. I enjoy seeing love and being a part of solidifying that love. So anyway, let's get ready for story time. So my very first wedding, I did not even tell the couple they were my first wedding. I had signed up for a few different wedding officiant groups on Facebook, and I just started following different officiants on Facebook and on Instagram and going on TikTok and trying to see what they talk about, what they do, what they say, if anyone else has those first time jitters. And believe it or not, there were tons of people who were complaining, well, not complaining, but saying the same thing. Like, I was so nervous for my very first wedding, or what am I going to say? Or is this going to be okay? How do I know I'm saying the right thing? How do I know that I'm not going to faint? Or what if I forget something? Or how do you know what to write in your script? Or how do you know you really did it the correct way? And I was so scared. I was so nervous. I feel like for my very first wedding, in the beginning, I was just thinking about starting a business and having additional income. That was my initial thought. Like, I'm seeing all these people talking about notary work and all these different things you can do as a notary. And like I said before, I love weddings. I love everything about weddings. So for me, when I saw that that was something I could get into as a notary loan signing agent, I was just like, that's right up my alley. I love weddings. I'm going to get into this. But what I did not realize immediately is that this is public speaking, and I was not very comfortable speaking in public. So I had done some research, and I knew that initially I need a questionnaire. I need to meet with the couple and get an understanding of them and make sure we agree with one another. We get along. It's a comfortable vibe, and I'm going to be able to go up there and it's going to feel like more of a partnership and not just like a business transaction. I'm here, I'm gone. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be more personable. So with Universal Life Church, they would suggest that you submit a questionnaire to the couple and an agreement just to let them know, or a contract to let them know that they have reserved you for that day and you have that on file. So I knew that that was something I needed. I just didn't know exactly how I wanted to get that laid out. So Google is going to be your best friend. Google and YouTube University. So I went on Google and found an agreement, and I just kind of made it my own. I went on a couple of different wedding officiant websites and saw what they did, and if they had any type of form available, I would just kind of look at it and see, like, do I like this? Or if they're not from where I'm from, I'm like, do I need this in here? Because every state is different. They have different laws. They have to do different things. You have to have different things. So I'm like, well, let me do some more digging and see what it is that I'm going to need. So once I came up with what I wanted my contract to look like, and I developed a questionnaire that I felt was suitable for me to know the couple enough to be able to prepare a script, then I was like, okay, let's go ahead and move forward. So my very first couple, I met them where I meet most of my couples, which is Barnes & Noble. Or Books A Million. It is very quiet. I love to read. I love to write. And there's usually a coffee shop or something inside. So you can sit there and kind of have that interaction with them, and you're around other people. So you're not sitting someplace alone by yourself with people you don't know what their intentions are. So safety first, of course, but it just kind of made me feel comfortable because I was in a place where I enjoyed frequently visiting. So we met at Barnes and Noble and we sat down, and I had no idea exactly what I wanted to say to them. So I just was like, you know, talking about why I got into officiating, how I started my journey as a wedding officiant, and then I gave them the floor to tell me their story. So they shared their story with me, and towards the end, they asked me, how many weddings have I officiated? I felt like that was the worst question in the world. Like, what am I supposed to say? None. You're my very first ceremony. Thanks for being my guinea pig. Like, I don't know. I really didn't know what to say. But I remember reading on the group where someone gave the answer basically like, don't tell them they're the first. Just tell them they're the first of many. So I was like, you know, that's not technically a lie, because you are the first of many, because I plan to have many weddings. So that's what I said. I said, well, you're the first of many. And I really enjoy the business, and I'm excited to see how your ceremony turns out. So they were really excited. And I'm gonna say maybe about 2 weeks later, they submitted their questionnaire and their agreement to me. And I was like, okay. At this time, I did not think about collecting a retainer. I was just like, this is my fee. The day of the ceremony, I'm gonna go do this ceremony. I'm gonna get this money. It's gonna be a breeze. They submit everything. I type up the script. I send it over to them, probably within 48, 72 hours. And they're okay with it. We're ready to go. So the day of the ceremony, I got up so early. I felt like it was the first day of school and I was a kindergartner. Like, I was so excited to meet my new friends, but I was so nervous at the same time. So I got up really early that morning and I started to do my makeup and get myself together. Picked out an outfit that I felt like was suitable. I just knew I wanted to wear something all black. That way I don't take away from them and their pictures or anything. And I can go with whatever their theme is. And I got there so early. I think I got there like almost 2 hours early. So I just kind of sat in my car and worked on different things on my computer for almost an hour. And then I went inside. And when I got inside, it's like reality just hit. Like, you are about to stand up in front of all of these people and read a script that you wrote in front of all of these people. And it was a very big wedding party. I think that they had a little over 100 people there. And I just couldn't believe it. I was really about to go up there, me, afraid to speak in front of a big old crowd and read a whole 3-page script. Now, a ceremony only takes about 15 minutes, maybe 30, depending, if you have the unity ceremonies like sand pouring, wine pouring, or candle lighting, hands fasting, different things, that makes it a little longer. But ceremony is typically about 15 minutes. So 15 minutes when you are super terrified is a very long time. So I get in there and I'm just kind of socializing. I introduce myself, and the mother of the bride or the grandmother of the bride always becomes your friend, which is a good thing because it kind of makes you feel comfortable. Everyone is busy because it's their wedding day and they're moving around. And with you being a vendor, you just kind of sit and wait, which is fine. But when you do have somebody to come and talk to you and tell you how happy they are for the couple, or, tell them a little story about them that they did not share, just to let you know, who they are at their core a little bit more, it makes you feel good and it helps you deliver a better ceremony sometimes. I'm not saying that it's going to change what you're going to do when you go up there, but it helps you to relax a little bit more because now you're like, okay, this is a good little vibe. So I went up to the front and I stood in my place where they instructed me to stand. And I'm up there with the groom, and the groom is sweating bullets. He was terrified. He was more afraid than I was. And I felt for him because I'm like, man, I'm trying to keep it together because this is my business, but I want to sweat and cry and run away. Like, this is terrifying. But he just was pouring sweat, and he was like, I'm good, I'm good. And I'm like, yeah, you got this. Like, this is your big day. This is what you've been waiting for. You got this. We're good. You're good. So here comes the bride. She is beautiful, beautiful. And everyone stands up. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is really about to happen. It's going to happen. I'm about to read the script. They're about to say I do. This is really happening. So she gets to the front. At this point, he's already in tears. Now I'm about to cry. Like, these are things that you don't think about when you start a business. Like, I'm sensitive and scared to speak in front of people. Like, was this a good idea at the time? No. But I'm very happy that I faced my fears and I did it. So she comes down the aisle and she just takes a look at me and takes this deep breath, smiles, and she's like, I'm ready. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm ready too. And I start to read. And the first couple words I say for every single script is hello and welcome. And today, hello and welcome comes out so easy. But that day, I was trying to keep my voice from shaking. I know that you're not supposed to lock your knees or you can faint. I know that I was locking my knees. I was so scared. I had heels on. I was sinking into the ground. I felt like sweat was just seeping through everything. I was so terrified. So I got through and I pronounced them. They kissed. Everyone was happy. And I realized that I didn't tell anyone to sit down. I'm gonna tell you what the horrible thing about this is I did that crap like 2 more times. Oh my goodness, like, you know how horrible that is to forget? Like, you're gonna make these mistakes, and that's part of learning and going through the process. But I did not tell them to sit down. So I was just like, oh my gosh, how in the heck did I do that? How did I forget? So we go to sign the marriage license, and we went to sign the marriage license. On the way there, I have all these people coming up to me and they're like, oh, you did such a wonderful job. I love what you said up there. How long have you known them? You know, you did really good delivering their story, blah, 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 blah. We got into the room to sign. The photographer's in there getting ready to take pictures, and he passed me on the back and he's like, good job. You have any cards? Blah, blah, blah. I had no cards. I had nothing. He's like, you have any cards? You have this, you have that. I'm like, no. But thank you. When we got ready to sign, the bride gave me the biggest hug. And she was like, thank you so much for doing this for us. Like, you did an amazing job, blah, 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 blah. Y'all, in that moment, I played it so cool. I was just like, you know, thank you. That's what I'm here for. Congratulations again. You look beautiful. I'm so happy for you guys. Thanks for picking me, you know, to officiate your ceremony. And we signed everything. And when I got in my car, I was in there crying like a happy child. Like, I actually faced my fears and I did it, and it's over, and it was wonderful. So I say all of that to say, if this is your first time officiating a ceremony, it can be a beautiful experience if you just tell yourself, you got this, and take the time to learn your first couple at least. As you go on, you'll realize that not every couple really wants to share their whole story, and they do not care about certain parts of the officiant. They just know this is something that they need in order for this to be legal. So some people are like, this is all of me, and I want you to know it, and I want you to incorporate it and really pay attention to all the details I'm telling you. And some people are like, you got something pre-written? Because I ain't got nothing to tell you. Here go your money. Show up and get out. That's how some of them are. But in all of them, no matter which way they go, it's a beautiful experience. It's an experience. It's a learning experience for you. And it helps you to build your portfolio. So my recommendation for new officiants is that if you can practice public speaking in any type of entity, please practice. And if you cannot, just read out loud to your friend or family member or your children, yourself in the mirror or something, to just try to focus on getting those jitters out of you. And on the day of the ceremony, think positive thoughts and tell yourself that you are amazing and you love love, and that's why you picked this profession, and you're going to be the best at it. You're going to do the best you can do, and you're going to deliver a ceremony that the couple is never going to forget. And with all that you are saying up there, you're going to have someone in the crowd that's going to say, you know, my niece is getting married, or I'm getting married, and we want to book you for our ceremony as well. So do good, and good will follow. Thanks for tuning in. Love and light.